Yep, that's it. I'm gonna turn that down a bit. The reverb sound real echoey. Yeah, yeah, that sound better. Okay. Here we go. So, I wasn't even really gonna start. So yeah, y'all want time to eat, chill a little bit more. Right. I was planning on starting like seven ish. What time you got a jet? Hey, got you. Yeah, but yeah, this Shekinah, you feel me? Shekinah. Y'all ever heard of what Shekinah means? Let me turn these lights on. You ever heard that term Shekinah? You have? What does Shekinah mean? Mm-hmm. Nah, I feel you. Yeah. It's the same context. You heard it in too? Yeah, honestly, that's basically it. I can't hold you. I with the little bit of research that I did, um, it's just specifically that, like the manifest glory of God. Um, a lot of them related to the experience in Exodus, when Moses saw God speak to him through a burning bush, you know, and how just God being present in the midst of a fire, right, in the midst of um, just speaking in a like tangible way. And so just this whole idea that Shekinah is like a closeness to you, like God being close, God being real, God being tangible, and like knowing that God is there and speaking to you. Some say it's like the feminine presence of God is what it's been described as too in the Hebrew. So I just thought that was really interesting as a it just as a concept that God is even being in a fire, right? Because usually people talk about it in terms of a fire too, but that even in the midst of like fire, which is typically meant to like purge, you know what I'm saying? Fire is typically meant to like it's saying everything will get burned up in a fire that can't withstand the fire. So even in the midst of a fiery time, uh, that God is present and God is speaking to you. God is with you. So that's pretty much the concept of this project. You feel me? This whole idea that God is speaking. Should I be speaking to the mic? I probably should have been speaking to the mic this whole time so the other people could hear on the play. Well, I don't know. I'm not. I'm new to this live streaming stuff to a degree. You feel me? But this whole concept that God is near to you in the midst of fire, right? And He's speaking to you in the times of fiery trials, when it seemed like everything's getting burned up. And that's really just what brought this into fruition. I collaborated with my one of my friends from. I met him at Ball State, right? At Ball State University. I was performing actually at a show with this organization called Ball State Crew. Well, Crew is like this larger national organization, Campus Crusade for Christ. You familiar with them? Okay, yeah. So I used to do a cookout with them every year and perform just where students were coming on campus. But I met this dude there. He's like this tall white dude, man. But he got like chains and he got braids and stuff. I'm like, who this white dude, man? You feel me? And then he was talking, and I was like, yo, like what's up? And so we said, man, what's good? Hey, I got Red in the building. Oh, what's up? How you doing? What's going on? So you good? How you doing? What's good? My name is Rome. And it, What's your name?
Allie.
Hallie. Nice to meet you, Hallie. And what's your name,
What's
sweet
up,
out
man?
there?
This is Majesty.
Majesty. What's up, Majesty? Yeah, Phil. This is my friend Daggy. You feel me? Yeah. And then Lee. You feel me? Leah.
Where are
You know
y'all
what I'm saying?
from?
I'm from Indianapolis. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the way you speak. It's just you sound different.
Does that sound different?
Sorry, not. I'm not trying to
No, no, I
insult
ain't mad. I ain't
you.
mad at you. I ain't mad at you at all. You did. But yeah, feel free. There's a restroom like directly ahead to the right, and then yeah, and then food in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? So of course by the man. This the man that whipped up the barbecue that y'all enjoying. You feel me? Yeah. So yeah, we doing a little chill kickback. But feel free to take a seat too. If you're not comfortable though, I am live streaming this. So if you don't want to be on camera, that's he said I ain't trying to be on the camera.
Oh,
Oh,
Allie, good.
yeah,
Camera.
yeah, my bad. I should have gave you the heads up. If you want to sit over there, I mean, I think that's up the way. My bad, Holly. Like this was a setup from the jump.
Oh wow.
all good.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, we just started too, so that's why it's like yeah. But glad to have y'all in the building. Glad to have y'all in the building. You feel me? But I was just describing like what this project is, right? Um, the name of it is Shekinah, which is are y'all familiar with the term? You heard of Shekinah
I
before?
have not heard of
Okay, so it's basically this concept of God speaking to you in the midst of the fire. So it's taken from the Bible, Exodus, where Moses is in, I think he's in the desert, right?
it.
And
Right.
then it's the burning bush that God comes and speak after he's been in the wilderness for years upon years.
Right.
God decides to speak to him through a burning bush, and he's just like, "Yo, this is crazy." And so for me, I'm really just trying to echo this same sentiment that in the midst of the fires that we go through that burns everything up, right? God is still speaking to us, right? That's actually where He chooses to speak to us in those fiery trials. So that's really the concept of the project. The name is Shekinah, right? And for me, where was I at? I was just talking about uh, the the producer. I was talking about the producer, right? Free came, yeah. So it's this white dude I met at Ball State. So I was in college, um, and I performed annually at this one campus organization called Crew. And so I met him there, and he's this tall white dude, man. Had chains on, had some braids. I was like, "Who is this man?" You feel me? But he was cool, and he knew a lot of some of the artists I worked with back in the city. So we've connected here and there throughout the years. But here recently, we did 2 or 3 shows together called Hyphy and Holy. Right, it was just kind of outreach, outdoor type of shows. And then he started. He sent me some beats to like a pack. Yeah, he sent me a pack. You know what the packs are. You feel? She on the way. Uh, she up next. You feel me? But yeah, he sent me this pack of beats, right? And I was just inspired by them to explore this concept of Shekinah, what that's meant for me this past year or so. You know what I mean? That feedback concept. So that's that's the whole basis of this project. It's just Shekinah. What does it mean to be in the midst of a fire and still? Because it also talks about the divine feminine presence of God, is what Shekinah also mean too in the Hebrew. It's just like God, this idea of God being close to you in the middle of a fire, right? In the middle of a fire. So what we gonna do is I described it a bit earlier. We just gonna play each song, right? And then I ask 2 things. Tell me what y'all think could improve, and tell me what you enjoyed about it. All right, sound good?
Sounds great.
Yeah, sound great. And give me honest feedback. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I'm an artist, so of course I love my own stuff, but I'm very open to feedback and critique. You know what I mean? I am. Yeah, so you will probably hurt my feelings, but I promise it's okay. My feelings will get repaired eventually. Like yeah,
That's good though.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, you can't, especially in the, yeah, yeah, in this type of game, like you can't grow unless you listen to people.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
you gotta know your audience. You know what I mean?
That
I
part.
mean, you know your art intimately. It's a part of you. It's integral. You know what I mean? But your audience, they need a little bit of flavor and a little bit of spice. You gotta season it well. You feel what I mean?
Uh-huh.
You can bring your own recipe to the game, but you gotta give it to the public, which means that the court of public opinion matters here. You feel me?
That's facts. And he know that well. You know what I'm saying? With Boss Hog. So shoot, you know you gotta. The public don't like that food. Like if it's like on the low, you're not probably not gonna keep selling that product.
Right.
You feel?
Right.
Not going to sell it.
86.
Yeah, exactly. Um, so if you could click on that, yeah, that top tab right there, and say Shekinah, and so it's lyric videos for each one too, and yeah, so feel free to look at the lyric video or just vibe out. Yeah, like you can vibe out too. Oh yeah, you can go ahead grab some food too. I'm gonna turn it up. So that's yeah. It's crazy. This y'all first time over here too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dang, it's crazy. So I just moved in here last year, but Red been a real one ever since I moved in. Feel me? Just show love. And,
So he made the sliders.
yeah, yeah,
Good.
we made the
Right
sliders
on.
too.
I appreciate
Right?
it.
Yeah, they busting.
Sure, man. Right on. Appreciate it. Yeah, I call those better than White Castle sliders right there.
Yeah, those will take you out.
Mhm. And believe it or not, the sauce was made with peaches. Interesting. It's peaches and jalapenos. Peach marmalade, jalapeno juice. And it's got the brown sugar and the tomato paste, the beef broth, and all that stuff in there.
Yeah, I was confused at first when you said peach.
Yeah. I was just like, am I gonna? But no, once you smoke it and all that stuff, it all kind of marries in. You know, when I was in catering, the Caucasian folk, they would grill peaches. They would add weird stuff to it though, like blue cheese,
Really?
stuff like that. Yeah. So, yep, grilled peaches with like bacon and blue cheese.
I wonder how that'll taste.
It's
Was it? Cause it's like sweet and savory, right?
That's what it is. It's sweet,
Okay.
savory, pungent, and you got to be
Yeah.
careful with the amount of blue cheese. So like there is a balance to it. So they only put like a little small cluster of blue cheese, one line on one grilled peach. So yeah, because you don't want to overpower it either. The peach is the star of the dish. But like it wasn't my taste. Like they even had a flatbread that had like pears, blue cheese, um, spicy walnuts, like roasted spicy walnuts, and some other stuff on there. But I was like, I can't do it.
Uh-huh.
Like just smelling it come out of the oven, I was just like, it smells like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Alright, knew what time it was.
Yeah, I'm over with.
I ain't even mad at you. There's
Yeah.
some things you like.
I said I'll cook it, but I ain't eating it.
Probably can't consume.
So how do you pronounce Shekinah? What is it?
Yeah, Shekinah. Well, some, I mean, it's Hebrew, so I might be saying it wrong.
Nah, that's how I've heard it all my
Yeah,
life.
that's how you heard it?
Right.
Okay.
I wasn't trying to imply that.
I see the symbols on the cap.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Andy Mineo. He's
Indy
part-
Mineo.
Andy Mineo.
Okay, tell me
He's
about
a
that.
Christian hip hop artist.
Okay.
He's part of the 116 clique.
Okay.
What Lecrae, Tadashi, Trick Lee. You ever heard of them?
Okay. I've heard the names, but I've never heard the music.
Oh,
Like
okay.
there was a couple guys I knew, and they've been like in rotation. They've done work in like some of the missions and homeless shelters and stuff like that.
Okay.
There, it's two guys, and they have a church over here somewhere near like Harding or something like. But they do the Christian hip hop thing, and like
Yeah.
they open up and welcome like a bunch of artists. So their Sundays is not your typical, church Sunday. Like there's hip hop, there's there's the gospel, contemporary, you know, it's a little bit of everything. And although they do focus on the message, the music is like what draws people. You know what I'm saying? Um, and like I find that significant. Music is vibrations. The very things that you speak, your voice is vibrations. You know what I mean? So like when you do speak positive and you amplify positive, then you draw positive. And someone in a lower vibration or a more negative vibration can't even receive or translate what you're putting out. You know? So I mean, I love the way they do it in their church because it draws the right audience. Not all of us are drawn to like the strict, you know, in order prototype churches where it's like, you know, all rise and you know, and everybody, you know,
You know what I'm saying?
Like you in the courtroom.
yeah, you know, repeated benediction. Some people need a little more energy, you know.
Yeah.
You know, so and it's about that. I guess we edify each other based on where we, you know, where we vibrate the strongest. You know, not everybody does. We're in different stages in life. You know what I'm saying? And so like I might be giving you like something that lifted me today, and you might be in one of those vibrations during your day where like you can't receive what I'm putting out to you. You know, and the key to it is not taking it personal when people can't receive. You know, and I'm talking about even the ones closest to us, like our loved ones, our children, our brothers and sisters, our mothers and fathers. You know, like if they don't receive it, you can't take it personal. It just wasn't for that moment in time. You did what you were supposed to do. Like I thought about this when I was I planted some strawberries, but I took them from market bought strawberries. You know, so I took the razor, peeled the skin, laid them out, dried them out, put them, and they just weren't taking. You know, for weeks at a time. But it was me wanting them to take earlier than they were ready. They have to be at a certain temperature, you know, in order to germinate and all that successfully. So you know what I mean? I couldn't rush the process. I couldn't. So it might be on me to plant the seed, but it's on, you know, nature and it's upon God to bring forth that increase. All I do is like what I've learned to do, what I'm familiar with. You start with what you know. You know. So I mean, that's just been a work in progress with all of us. You know what I mean? Like with me, I practice it more here lately. In the last 3 years, it's just like, you know, I can't judge anybody's situation. You know, if I happen to be traveling and someone says, "Hey, brother, you got $1, you got 50 cents," you know, I'm no longer thinking, okay, the whole process of what he's about to do with this 50 cent plus everybody else's 50 cent involved. Well, you know what I
You
mean?
used to think that?
No, I did, yeah.
Oh,
But
I gave up on it.
you know, at this point in life, what I'm thinking is, if I was him, you know, I wouldn't want a whole interrogation behind why I needed 50 cents. You know, and I wouldn't. And regardless of what point in life I'm at, like I could be in like the epitome of my addiction, you know, or I could be at the crown of my success. But at the same time, I still don't want to have to explain to you why I need your help. You know what I mean? I just want your help.
It's facts.
You know, and so in my mind, I reverse it. What I do is when they say, "Brother, you got it," I flip it. You know, now I'm him. You know, because we all connected. Each person that you encounter, have a conversation with, start a relationship with, is a reflection of you at some point in your life. Say it's not. The very things that irritate me about other people are the things that like irritated me about my own failures, that irritated me about myself. You know. You know. So when I look at other people, I immediately remember, judge not unless you be judged with the same judgment with which you judge others. You know, people hear that and repeat it, but they don't know the depth of what that means. You know what I mean? Because if this was me somehow, I wouldn't want you looking at me like that. You know, I got enough people. I got the system, the penal system. I got the white supremacist system and everything already looking at me like a rag, a piece of crap. You know what I mean? So why would I want to receive it further from you? You know? So if I'm traveling and I have the means and the wherewithal, I know like, you know, they ask me for $1 or $10 or whatever it is. I know each day I'm probably gonna spend about 20 on weed, and I'm probably gonna spend about 16 on beer or something like that there. You know what I mean? And rather than to do that, because that's still squandering, whether it pleases me or not. It's my money to do it as I please, but it's still squandering. But if I give it to him, per chance, he might buy a meal with me. And per chance, he may help somebody else, because I've seen that the most charitable people on this planet are the less fortunate. And the reason being is they know what it feels like. They're in the middle of it. Those that have been given these land grants, you know, I'm not going to speak on a specific dynamic or race, but those that have been given the advantage, especially on this soil, they don't even talk. They don't relate to what that's like.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's easy for them to say, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, but you've been given the advantage. The ball's always been in your court. If we were sitting down and this was Monopoly, like you've been given Boardwalk Park
Where is
Place.
she?
Yeah. And the green
Ashley.
properties next to it before the game even started. You know? I don't know what she's doing back there. Oh, she's just looking right now. She ain't
You
picked up
enjoy
nothing.
Star Wars?
Yeah.
You enjoy Star
She ain't
Wars?
picked up
It's
nothing.
still in the box.
Okay.
That's what it
And then there's some, you know, we have modern psychology. Modern psychology calls what I do enabling. You know what I mean? And so the definition of enabling is basically when a person is in the middle of their addiction or, you know, their criminality or whatever it is, that you provide the wherewithal for them to continue in that addiction or, you know what I'm saying, or whatever it is. But I'm going to say something about everybody who's in a state of transition from healing from whatever, addiction, trauma, or whatever it is. They have an issue with trust that involves other people. And that trust issue comes from the negative judgment of other people, you know, and it came from people closest to them before it came from friends and people outside of them. You know what I'm saying? So, in a sense, a random stranger contributing to a person in need is not enabling, but it's showing them that they can continue to have faith in what we call humanity. And I don't mean the race of human, I mean humane nature. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're in an unfortunate situation, your faith in humane nature starts to dwindle. You see life from an ugly perspective. It's like they've given you life on a slide under a microscope, and now you see all the bad shit outside.
So you in survival mode.
Yeah.
When you reach that point.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh dang, no love now?
But I said that to bring that full circle, right, to your Shekinah. Moses, right? Moses born.
Yeah, land the plane because we gonna run this track too.
All right, cool. So Moses born of Hebrew descent. All right. His mother knew that they would kill him if they found out that he was born. She put him in that basket, sealed with tar and pitch, sent him up the river. And Pharaoh's daughter found him. You know what I mean? So fortune kind of found him in a sense too, though. You know what I mean? But Moses in and of himself had to go through a struggle between his Egyptian rearing and his Hebrew lineage. You know what I mean? And this is what brought about the situation where he had to slay the Egyptian and bury him in the sand. And then when his brother brought it up, you know, well, ain't this the same, you know, pardon the way I express it, ain't this the same nigga that just killed an Egyptian and buried him in the sand? You can't who told you was master over me?
Yeah.
But you know, like, but they hit him with the guilt trip though, you know, and with that guilt trip came the paranoia. So he started to forethink or foreshadow what would happen if he stayed present, and so he skedaddled, you know. But in order for any of us to reach a certain paramount of maturity, we have to separate ourselves from what we knew and go into the unknown. And this is all right.
Yeah.
So this is the step that Moses had to take. You know what I mean? Moses alienated himself from his privileged rearing. You know, he was considered like part of the elite. He was part of the royal line. You know what I'm saying? He was like brothers with the Pharaoh's son, heir to the throne. You know, and he left that. He abandoned it. You know, now it was for shame, but it was also for his transition into something greater. You know, he didn't know it. He left, met a woman, when he got married, you know, all that stuff. But on his travels back, because something always brings you back, he knew Egypt as home. But then he encounters Mount Sinai, and he sees the bush. When he sees the bushes burning without being consumed by the flames, right? That would alienate any of us, you know. I'm out here in the middle of nowhere. I'm a little distraught. You know, I started a whole new life, but I know I got You know what I mean? You know,
Yeah.
he got this warrant from
I
Egypt
had that
on his back,
paranoia.
you know.
Yeah.
And so he stops like, you know, there's something to this. And then the voice of God speaks out to him from this bush that shouldn't be burning, but it is, and not being consumed by the flames, you know. And then he says to him, and there's some significance in this, he says, take off thy sandals, for you are on hallowed ground or holy ground, you know. Anything God touches is hallowed ground, you know. And taking this off is your connection to the earth, you know. Civilization, Western civilization, the fact that we do all this, it's a disconnect because they want you more connected to the construct or the system than you are to the source. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
You know, he had to remove his sandals to get the full connection. And until he removed those sandals, he couldn't even fully understand what he was encountering. Does that make sense?
It's deep.
You know what I'm saying? So he took it off because God was right there. You know what I'm saying? In the bush, the voice spoke out. So when he touched that ground with both points of contact, then he got him on the metaphysical. You see what I'm saying? But it took drawing him because we have to come willingly. We can't just be forced. That would interfere with free will. And that explains why we're in the situation we're in. In order for free will to be real, God has to allow both good and evil, or what we classify as good and evil, to exist. Otherwise, there is no such thing as free will. You know? But he pulled Moses in to let him know, I have a people and I love them, and I hear them calling out to me. And I have concern with these people, but here's what I'm going to do. You know? And he explained to Moses. And Moses even tried to make an excuse. You know? Moses had like a speech impediment. He couldn't speak well because he was born Hebrew, but he was raised Egyptian. And it's just like being born American and then going over to Mexico somewhere. You can speak the language, but some shit just probably hard to pronounce because you're not Mexican. See what I'm
Stuff
saying?
about the culture too. It
Right.
just kind of feel out of place.
Yeah. So he had an impediment, and he tried to use that, but God said, did I not make your tongue? And instead of allowing him to use his excuse, he said, okay, well, I will use your brother Aaron. And just like you're a mouthpiece to me, your brother Aaron will be a mouthpiece to you, between you and the people, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But this shows like, you know, for lack of better terms, there's a pecking order, you know. And it shows the consistency too within the text. Everything must be done in decency and in order, you know. So God became, you know, the ruler or progenitor over Moses, and then Moses became the ruler or progenitor over Aaron, his brother, and then Aaron became the spokesman for Moses over the people, you know. So, but it took this.
We're gonna run this first track.
Okay, go ahead. My bad, bro.
Yeah, you good. You good.
I'm getting drawn out.
Yeah, we got. I know you got fired up. You got that Shekinah on you now.
Yeah, all right.
There you go. We got that Shekinah going. So yeah, we gonna actually. I'm gonna keep the mic on next time so that because I don't even know if people on the stream caught all the gems he just dropped. But this is the type of stuff that happens. You feel me in these sessions. So you go ahead and run that for me, Lee. Appreciate you.
Bring me the light to be inspired. I'm burning bright, praising the sight. We gon' hide. I want Shekinah. Give me Shekinah. I want Shekinah, praising Messiah. We gon' hide. Give me Shekinah. I'm getting tight. They telling guess what is burning on idle. Keeping us hungry and stuck in the wire. Like for the jungle and getting divided. White corporations go buy out the culture engine part. Those for the bread that they made up a pool. Those for the game up and willing support. Those artists is part in the game and the time and they painted the pieces of powder. Training these youngins like they should just live in the danger forever. And don't show the trauma and anguish. They need a light to be inspired. We burn it bright, praising Messiah. We going high. I want Shekinah. Give me Shekinah. I want Shekinah, praising Messiah. We going high.
There we go. So yeah, that's the first track, Shekinah. You feel me? The title track. You know what I mean? Um, I guess what's your initial reaction response to it?
He go hard.
Said big or hard.
Like he was referring to say Timothy. God, my
You got all right. You got to make sure you speaking up.
Who you refer to? Timothy in there, and then we blind like Helen Keller, and yeah, yeah, it was dope. It was dope.
Yes, indeed.
It was dope. I mean, you're right. Give him a lighter. Give me Shekinah. Give me that glory.
Any thoughts,
Yeah, yeah,
Daggy?
yeah.
The lyrics is dope. I think it had a lot of message in it that for me, I think this might be stylistically, it slows down a little bit for me. I can hear it more because there's just so much depth in it. Um, it might be just me. Um, I really wanted to listen to it, and I was trying to read through it and follow through.
Yeah, I ain't mad at you.
I was missing it because I
Yeah, I
just
feel
really
you.
wanted to listen to the lyrics a
I
lot
feel you.
because you have a lot of deep things to say in your music. I just don't want it to not be heard. Um, so yeah, having the lyrics is great. We're just slowing down just a little bit so that we can marinate but from
Sure.
for the things that I've caught, I like the message, but there's a lot that I missed as well. So
Yeah, I ain't mad at you. Yeah, I hear that. I hear that.
I actually know like someone like that, like they can listen to fast rap because they want to hear the words, and I'm the same way. Like I can't listen to a mumble rapper. Like you not
Yeah.
you saying stuff, but nobody knows what you're saying. Like
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
why
It's
do
the
I need to
vibe.
know
Yeah,
the
it's the
lyrics
vibe.
just to understand what I'm hearing? But I mean, I'm kind of used to it now, so I was catching, what he was saying while he
Right.
was saying it. But it's still a new song, so you're trying to process
That's true.
all the
Once when you're newer,
meanings.
you gotta kind of like
Yeah,
that's a great point too.
yeah, yeah.
We'll make
So
sure people can hear you.
yeah, I was
Everything you're
catching
saying.
it. I was vibing to it, but it, it's a lot of process because, like you were saying, his music is deep. It's got some points in there. It's like, man, that stood out. That stood out, man. He said that. But it's just going so fast. Some
Yeah.
people
That's a
can't
great point.
keep up.
I definitely agree with pacing yourself.
Uh-huh.
And like I know that like especially in today's, you know, age in hip hop and all that stuff, everything's fast paced. People are, scrolling through social medias, they can get the satisfaction within a few seconds that they want to, hear and do things, but like you have a certain target audience, you know what I mean? And, I'm just gonna like quote this, straight is the gate and narrow is the path, you know what I mean, that leads to eternal life and all its benefits. And great and wide is the highway that leads to destruction. So like there's more people traveling that fast, give it to me quick,
Yeah.
instant gratification and satisfaction. And like I consider you, even as an artist, you know what I mean, you have to consider yourself a bit prophetic, you know what I mean? And you have to consider yourself, a
Thank you.
great amount of spiritual,
I
you
feel
know,
that.
whether that be attached to any specific religion or whatever it is, your audience is going to be that very same thing. And trust me, there is a pretty good and expansive audience for that. If someone like Nas, you know, has an expansive audience, your approach, although more modern, is somewhere along those lines because you're dropping gems of spiritual and historical knowledge in your music. You know what I mean? And you don't want to rush that.
Mm.
It's kind of
That's
like
great.
a good beef burgundy. You know what I'm saying? You just can't make it quick. You got to put time into the
Uh-huh.
sauce, the beef, and everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's you have one of those recipes, one of those rap and lyrical recipes that definitely takes time and needs to be given to people in courses.
Mm.
Feel what I'm saying? Feed it to them slowly so that they can take in each participle of information, lyrical prowess, you know what I mean, and just your swag, period. take your time with it. Don't rush it. Your audience will take that in. Kendrick makes long ass songs. So you know.
Yeah,
But
he
people
makes
say
some very long songs.
people say listen to him.
What you about? Uh,
She's okay. I mean, like she's gonna scream and cry if we stop her. So like, this is a little bit smoother, you know.
I feel you.
You know. So
I had a
yeah.
question
So,
now. Is that the entirety of it? Was that the whole
No, no, no.
no, that's just the first. Did you get?
I was like,
Uh,
that's the only thing I didn't like about it. It's too short.
yeah, I feel
Sorry,
you.
I missed some of that.
No, no, you good, you good. So I mean, overall, I'm hearing, yeah, the song, the lyrics and stuff, it sound deep, but slow down, big fella.
Or maybe
Yeah,
there could be a part where you slow it down a part of it,
yeah.
which maybe that's generic to say. I don't make any
No,
sense.
no, no, that
But
makes
like you
sense.
could keep up the same hype and because when I heard it, I said, oh okay, he's in there doing his thing. Like that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, there we go.
But then it was over, and I thought, but maybe since everybody's saying to slow it down, or you could potentially just keep up with that and then slow it down and then do it again.
That's a
Hmm.
phenomenal idea.
No, that's great.
Like switch ups and music and in tracks is that's a phenomenal thing. Not too many people could pull it off. Like if you could, grab your recipe to do that, that would be awesome. Like your key points. You hear what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
you could hit them hard with like similes and metaphors and all that stuff. But then when it comes to the key points, the shit you want people to hear, slow it down, drop some of the features out of the track, and put it, basic, give it a snare or, what I'm saying, something like that, and hit them with them heavy lyrics, and bring it back into that hard hitting.
No, that's all great feedback. So first off, thank y'all so much because that, as the title track, it was something that I worked on, and I was like, man, I feel like, especially in hip hop today, when I consider my target audience, I'm trying to go like skew younger, and at times I feel like because it's all very melodic, I don't always want to go that way. Sometimes I want to like just go like bar for bar type stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I still want people, like you're saying, like Daggy said earlier, because I'm a newer artist too. I want people to understand what I'm saying, and not everybody process. Because I've been listening to hip hop like all my life, so not everybody processes stuff like at that speed and rate. And so the hook part is where I slow stuff down a bit, but even that, because the song is so short, the hook goes really quickly too. You know what I mean? It does. I'm sorry, the hook went so quickly. You probably missed it. You probably missed the hook. Um,
What was that part about? So because
I said we could have balled with the white like we Timothy Keller, but now we like Helen. We write for the deaf and the blind to their regaining sight, telling the melodies coming from heaven. Right? And R.P. Timothy Keller actually just died recently. Sad. So he's this white theologian dude, right? But he's bald, right? And so I'm also thinking about like we, you know what I'm saying, growing up we could have gotten to things where we balling with like, you know what I'm saying, selling drugs, selling white. But instead, we write for the deaf and the blind. Like we like Helen Keller, right? She was deaf and blind, and I believe mute too.
Yes.
Yeah, but she still like wrote books, and then people connected to that deeply. So I want the deaf and the blind to like hear melodies coming from heaven type stuff. And
So was
so
it kind of a metaphor to you too?
yeah, it was like a metaphor to like yeah, both the deaf and the blind. And, it was like yeah, stuff like that. It's like you're saying. You don't get it, cause it's for fast. So that's somewhat. So that's the catch 22. My hope is that you play it back. You feel me? So that's kind of it's a double edged sword when it comes to strategy. I did try to I dropped like Red was saying. I dropped some of the instruments on the second verse. Um, but I think it definitely could have benefited from a flow switch on the second part. I would say because, like I was saying, the first verse I'm just trying to bam bam bam, but if I keep doing that second too, it's like oh ear fatigue. So I appreciate the feedback. Overall, concept for Shekinah was like I said before, like with this song specifically, is just man, I'm fired up. Some people need uh they need to lean on some type of light or something. Yeah, I know. You feel me? Some people need that to get going. But I wanted to be like, nah, like I'm I'm fired up because of God, right? Like in what people are selling, what people are finding purpose in, it's like in the line I said, I fired my idols, right? Sometimes we wait for somebody else to do it, right? We say like, oh, they're supposed to be the ones to change things, like, but nah, really. And this happened when I met one of the artists I grew up listening to, right? His name is Derek Minor, um, and I just realized, man, like he's just a person, just like me. You feel me? And so I feel like once you start realizing, like, nah, I can be the difference, I can be the change, like that gets you fired up. It's like, nah, like he's saying that the bush, like in the midst of the fire, it wasn't consumed. It's crazy. So in the same way, like when things in life try to consume us, and we're not consumed by it, like but God is still speaking to us through that, like that's what one Shekinah represents. So overall, yeah, that Shekinah first track. Thank y'all so much for y'all feedback. I appreciate it. I'm glad y'all rock with it though. You say you heard it outside and thought it was hard. So that's what we want. We want people outside to hear it's hard. You feel me? But this next track is called Destiny. So this gets a bit into the fire of life, right? The fires I experience. So this track is called Destiny. If you go ahead and play that for me, please.
Anxious in the press, people been a struggle, only tryna find an X. Knocking on my blessings till I'm treated like a sketch. When they see the coming, all the questions coming, tell them that it's sketch. Yes, telling that it's sketch. When they see the coming, I just tell them that it's sketch. Knocking on my blessings till I'm treated like a sketch. They don't have to wonder, I just tell them that I'm blessed. It was getting hectic, I could barely sleep, I having nightmares at my dead kid. Dreaming that they killed my elder who was trying to help me. Asked my counselor what was the meaning of this frailty. It was PTSD in my sheets, cold sweats till I came up on my crib and took all my equipment. I was almost quick tip, but the law got it back. Tell my nigga Philip hit 150 on the cash. I was feeling restless, stressed, anxious in the past. Deep up in the struggle, only trying to find an X. Blacking out my blessings till I'm treated like it's Tetris. When they see the coming, all the questions coming, tell them that it's test, test, tell them that it's test. When they see the come up, I just tell them that it's test. Blacking out my blessings till I treat it like it's Tetris. Shout out like a tennis, I just tell them I just press into the presence of the Most High God. I've been representing since I was a young slide dog. I was called for the hope. Sometimes it be no sleep when the spirit on me and I'm feeling the anointing. Really take it 20 and cause when my dad try to end it. I try my hard best against the wall. Yeah, that's how hell it nosy. I just wanna know sleep. Peace when I feel up in your city like an army. Try to tour arms like a Lance Armstrong, but my hands for the weak. And put up for the forgotten. Really see the body. Sorry with my auntie. Reminiscing about the touch my mama homeless Kaiki. I was feeling restless, stressed, anxious in a passion. Deep up in the struggle, I'm trying to find an exit. Blacking on my blessings and I treat it like it's Tetris. When they see that coming, all the questions coming. I got a punch.
That's it. Destined, destined. Tell them that it's destined. What are y'all initial reactions, responses? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, honestly, okay, so I was trying to like listen to it. I don't know if you saw me, I was listening to my eyes closed. I trying to just feel it. And I get like your overall feeling. The only thing is I couldn't quite understand some,
Okay, got you.
like, but I understood like what I did read, obviously, and then what I understood, but like some of it I couldn't understand. But it sounded good.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah, clarity,
You
enunciation.
definitely have the I mean I'm sure like yes the album's about I get it but like you definitely have your lyrics down as far as like depth and just like you know what you want to say which is it seems like it's rare because people are always like oh the song plays it makes sense somehow no like you that did I'm sorry
No worries, no worries. We love the kids. We love the kids.
I don't I don't know. I just through part of that I couldn't understand what you're saying.
Hmm.
That was my only negative feedback, but overall.
No, great feedback. Yeah, look, clarity, enunciation is always a thing that I got to constantly do. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Sorry, I'm like I don't I couldn't. Mine would sound terrible, so I don't even know.
Nah, nah, nah,
You
nah,
talking
nah.
about someone
Critique
else.
is always helpful because that's what I'm saying, y'all. As a listener, right?
Yeah.
It's helpful to know people's how they take it in, how they digest it. So I welcome. Like I said, that's why I try to get the preface, right?
Okay.
I You might hurt my feelings, but like I said, I want this. I want this. You feel me? So I don't feel any yeah, I can see that too. I can definitely see that. So I appreciate that feedback. I appreciate the feedback.
Back there.
Yeah.
So you destined, you know. You mentioned how your equipment got stolen and you got it back, you know. Like you just said, you want this, you know. You, I put it like this, like God does put things in our lives, you know. It's like little hiccups and stuff like that, you know, trials and tribulations. But that was just something you had to go through, you know. Like when your stuff got stolen, was you gonna look to him, or was you just gonna rage out, you know? And like
Hmm.
you was like you kept your faith. You probably was mad at the time. Probably
Oh,
was mad at the time, but you still had that drive, you know, that God given drive to keep doing what you're doing. You know? And you was destined. You did it. You speaking it over your life already. You
mm,
destined. You know, you want to do this. God made a way. You saying you got hard weeks, hard days coming up, but you know He still made a way. You still going. You got this.
nah, no, appreciate that. It's
Yeah,
great.
there's a boatload of honesty in those lyrics, you know.
Yeah.
I was here through that little part, portion, you know. And I know how it feels too. You know, I went through it myself. So like, yeah, I've gotten older. I've let go of trying to do anything lyrically or musically. I just work and take care of kids, right?
Hmm.
But I can understand and fully relate. I think that, you know, a track like this, with the depth and the levity of it though, and the experience in and of itself, because this is part of your struggle, you know, up and coming. You know, this is your time in the furnace. You know what I mean? You with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're my guys.
Yeah.
Those are my guys right now.
But
Wow.
you know, because like you come in, you into a new
Thank you.
place. You know what I'm saying? You're making a major step, a transition in life. You know what I'm saying? You're into a new place. You're trying to get established. You have this dream. You know what I'm saying? And you're putting it together as you're piecing together your, you know, your domicile and your life also, your direction in life. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And suddenly the enemy comes along and says, F your plans.
Essentially, exactly what he said to
Right.
me.
But it's during those moments, you know, and as you point out, you know, this whole Shekinah thing, you know, I see how it ties into it too, though. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, you're in that transition where, you know, you're somewhat on your own a little bit because, you know, your journey is unique to you. There are very few who will truly understand it. They can see you going through the motions. They can praise you for the work you put into it and what you do. You know what I mean? But it's at that point where only God knows. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So like what I get out of this track, you know, is that like you are going through it, and these are the thoughts that you're having while going through it, but you still have this innate determination that supersedes every negative thought, every dart thrown at you, you know, every spear chucked by the enemy. It's just deflected because you're destined to do it, regardless of what happens, regardless of the potential consequences or extenuating circumstances that may come your way. As long as you continue to follow through, you're going to receive the due recompense that you are expecting, according to your faith in your God and your abilities.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So I mean, that's what I pull from it. What I would say about production is this: beats hype, right?
Hmm.
It bangs. You know,
Yeah.
I don't believe that the beat fits the content.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? But it
I
goes
can see
hard.
that.
You know, like that stuff that you went through needs like some punch. You know, it needs to tear jerk a little bit, but it also needs to convict.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So like I see it more as a track for somebody to ride to and listen and receive that conviction. Like, you know how you go to Motiversity and you listen to people, I can't lie, I'm sorry, but you listen to people who speak on their own struggles and how they push through it. And that inspires you. You see what I'm saying? But there's a certain recipe to that. You can't just like be the hype man. You can't come on with a Flavor Flav attitude and get people to really move mountains. You see what I'm saying? So like that beat goes hard as a club banger with the heavy bass and 808s and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's great. But as far as the conviction that this track needs, you need something to hit hard, like to pull at heartstrings, to make a motherfucker think about them going through the exact same thing or something similar. You feel what I mean? So I mean, that's just a little feedback from my part.
No, that's interesting.
I see what you're saying there.
Yeah, I can see that. Something that's a bit more. What beat? What type of beat do you hear with that?
Like a trap soul.
Trap soul. Okay.
Trap soul. So something like with
Yeah, something that had like more of those.
natural like a guitar bass and like you know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
acoustic, you know, piano, you know what I mean. Something that's not quite too sentimental, but it does put a person in a certain frame of mind because this is your struggle. You know? Like I said, I saw that whole little ordeal go about, and I know how I would feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I know the type of stuff like so that banging beat that presents to me the anger that you felt, but there were more emotions mixed in there than just anger. It was just like you know what I'm saying. After that anger, the determination that hit you, that's what I want to feel. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I don't want to just feel the resentment for the people that did wrong. I want to feel what made you keep pushing.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So you provided the lyrical content that covers it all, but you need a track that's going to bring it home.
That's interesting. I So I'm like on the fence about that specifically,
Mm-hmm.
cause in my mind, as I'm creating this one, I'm thinking I want it to be something that somebody like ride to and is like they going off to it,
Yeah.
but then eventually they like, oh wait, what is he? He just said what?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I feel like the catch 22 of how I'm choosing to paint this. It's kind of like the inverted. So y'all ever heard about pumped up kicks before?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of like that type of situation where like you're like, wait,
This song
they're
is
talking to
sad.
yeah,
Right.
just
Yeah.
talking about that. You feel me?
Yeah.
So that's kind of I feel like the where my mindset was with
Okay.
this.
Okay.
But I see what you're saying, and I will say this: I got a couple songs not within that vein. So you low key gave me juice to try to mess around with the track like that. But I got some songs that's a little bit like I made probably 5 or 10 about this situation. To say the least.
I feel
It's
you.
very different. It's very multiple angles. That
Yeah. Yeah.
the 7 stages of grief. You feel me?
Right.
Or not 7, like 5, right? But
Whatever.
you feel me? I went through 15 stages of those. You feel me? But yeah, and shout out to Red too, cause y'all know the backstory. Well, I told y'all the backstory before. I don't know if you know, but that situation basically what happened when I was coming back from a show actually in Muncie. I just performed that weekend and I was amazing time, like super high. You feel me? People was rocking with it like crazy. But I come back and then it's like my neighbor across the street, his lady's like, "Y'all, you see they was dumping stuff in the alley last night?" I'm just like, "Oh no, that's crazy, man!" Like I'm just kind of blowing it off. But then I walk in and like my TV's on the floor. I'm like, "Hold on!" And then I go through like all my clothes everywhere. It's just like a complete like, dang. I just got they just hit a lick on me. Like all my studio equipment was gone. Like all this gone. You feel me? Outside. So they eventually found they found I was hesitant too, but my guy convinced me to call the police. You feel me? So I actually utilized a law enforcement officer, and and then yeah, just roll the dice. So well, something happened. See, so they actually found the person. Is this lady in the trash can that was hauling it about? So I got most of it back, thankfully. But then um, later I went to another hip hop show, right, in town, and actually I had a date that day, but then I got stood up for it, so that's also another bummer. You feel me?
Right.
but,
Wow.
but then,
Stereotype.
yeah, exactly. And then I was coming back from the show, and I noticed my lights was on. I'm like, I don't remember turning the lights on. and then I walk in,
The lights on in here?
yeah, in here,
Mm-hmm.
and then look, and then I move my door slowly and like it's it's something's jarring it. You feel me? It's like a chair, and so I push open the door, and it's a full grown man cooking meatloaf in my kitchen,
Damn.
like
That's
meatloaf.
oddly specific.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right,
You
yeah.
can't make it up. That's what I be trying to tell people. I'm not.
Take time.
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
comfortable.
he was comfortable. Which I realized. I feel like my name. I always forget her name, but she said she was probably some squatters. Yeah, Janae, right? She said it was probably some squatters beforehand, but yeah, I was like, "Dog, I'm about to f you up, man." So I ran towards him, and he's bouncing out the back door, man. I chase him down like, what's this street? That's y'all. I think Capitol and Kenwood. Yeah, yeah. I trace him down there. Obviously, just what I'm saying, I give let him go. He down way, and then uh, the police come back around, and then they're taking pictures, and the glass broken. My guy pulls up, all that, and then the worst part though, like I said at the other party, the worst part is my favorite pair of pants was in the middle of the floor. Cover your ears, sweetie.
He ain't paying no
With Dookie all up in them.
attention.
My favorite all white joggers.
Wow.
Just straight Dookie. So, talk about feeling like a crappy day. You know what I mean? But overall, kind of like y'all saying, man, and that's why I say this. This is one of the things like I just kind of felt like stuff was burned. You know what I'm saying? Stuff was burned. Like even in the midst of having all my stuff gone, I was like, man, if all my stuff really is gone, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, be really mad, really heated, but at the same time, am I still gonna serve God? Am I still gonna maintain? And that's a question that I kept just kind of asking. Like, I was angry, but I'm also at the same time like, I mean, none of this stuff really is mine. You know, like we accumulate things, and yeah, yeah, you good. We accumulate things, but at the end of the day, it's kind of a false sense of control. Like we don't really own anything per se. Like on paper, yeah, but like none of this really is ours at the end of the day. You feel me? None of this.
It's materialistic.
Yeah,
Just everything.
yeah. None of this really is mine. Like I mean, this house, right? I mean, if all this is gifts to me, right? That I only have for a limited amount of time. I mean, I could lose it all tomorrow still.
Yeah,
Uh,
just life in
But it
general.
means something to
yeah.
you, though. It means something, right?
Oh yeah, definitely means something. Yeah, definitely means something.
But I get what you're saying.
Hmm.
Can't take it with you type of thing.
Yeah, can't take it with you type of thing. Yeah, for sure, for sure. You feel me?
No, bro, you gotta
Uh,
keep going.
but I forgot. Did you have any thoughts, Daggy, before we moved on?
No, you good.
You good? Okay.
We covered.
Y'all covered good.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Yeah, just echoing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I appreciate. Sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Red.
Red.
Yeah.
Kind of like, and I think with the beat, maybe what helps is so that people know that it's a different song kind of thing. You know, people hear the beat first, so it's kind of like
Yeah.
the track changed. Like it's not the same tempo kind of
Yeah.
thing. So you prepare your mind to listen to something fresh, something new. So that might help with that as well. Like,
Hmm.
just gets your people ready for the message they're about to drop. But other than that, I think it's kind of like we talked about earlier and stuff. The message looks deep. There was something I was trying to remember, but did you talk about a story or about someone in this one? Like in the previous one, you
Oh
talked about
yeah,
people.
yeah, yeah.
In
That's
this one,
true. Um. So
kind of,
yeah, in the second verse,
yeah,
right? I did talk about one of my friends. You know, you kind of get those late night calls, and they were really struggling, just with suicidal thoughts. And so it's like one of those calls that you're not expecting. And, as you know, what I'm saying as you take that and as you think about those implications, like it's sad. And then it kind of hits that, man, all the stuff that I'm concerned about, and then other people can be concerned about, like being nosy about certain things and situations. It's like, man, I really want my time and my relationships to be something that's life giving to people, right? I don't want anybody to ever feel like they don't have nobody in their life they can call on. Like I want to make sure that you know I'm that person. So with that specific situation, like I feel like that's something I want to be that for people. Is that just be that person they can call, and and when that trauma hits and that like your back's against the wall, it's like man, all we got is us at the end of the day. We don't have these other things. We don't have these other all these other things you just get carried about in life thinking about like it. It's cool, but a lot of this stuff it matters, but it doesn't matter as much. I would say as people's lives. You feel me? And
True
it's
enough.
real easy to just kind of get caught in the stream and the flow of everyday life.
And then, her and I've talked, like I told you, we all operate on different levels, you know. I can't expect, I can't expect anyone else to make progress the way that I make progress. I can't expect anyone else to think the way that I think, you know. And it is a rare commodity for someone, you know, to just be there. And I'm not just talking about like when it's convenient for you or it's easy or you have it. You
Yeah.
know, I'm talking about like when it is hard. When you've seen this person like repeat the same things, make the same mistakes over and over again,
Yeah.
and still, you know, you come through. Um, because I believe that to be the pinnacle of the love of what we conceive as God. You know, like my concept of God is a constant state of unconditional love, which means that God accepts every single portion and part of us,
Mm.
knowing that we are His creation. There is nothing imperfect about what a perfect God has designed, you know, but it is a gift to us. This is a borrowed vessel. It's just like jumping in that car. I mean, people can see your car and they can know, hey, that's Rome. But the car is in Rome. Rome is the operator of the car.
Oh, dang.
You know?
Dang, he going crazy.
You know?
He going crazy
You
on
know,
that.
Rome is the operator of the car, you know, and we are the operator of this vessel, but we are not this vessel. This is,
Hmm.
you know, this is just a gift. It's something that's been given to us to operate and to use to the benefit of others. It's not really designed for us. That's the whole gimmick in it, though. Like, we love the gratification. We love to be pleased.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we like how it feels to be praised or patted on the back or, you know, stroked on the genitals or whatever the hell it is. You
Hmm.
know, like whatever the gratification is. No, I'm just saying that's real.
Oh,
We
yeah,
all
it's real talk.
we
It's
are
real
all
talk.
going we
You
are
feel
all
me?
going this real. Whatever the drug is, whatever the sexual fetish, whatever it might be, you know, but that is the total opposite of what we are purposed to do.
Mm.
We are designed for community. You know, it wasn't just like a single person and then another single person. There was a race created. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Uh, there was a generation created. They're like time never was when the generation wasn't. Let me repeat that. Time never was when a generation wasn't. They took a group of people, not just like two people. You know what I mean? Adam was a race. Adam wasn't a person. Adam was a race of people. You know, and God instilled within that race of people an innate ability to be fruitful, multiply, fill the earth, and subdue it. Don't that sound familiar? Somewhere along the lines, we allowed some other person to change our conception of what God gave us and what God assigned us to do. And herein lies the struggle. And it's all psychological. You know what I mean? Only a portion of it is spiritual because we knowing that God is a spirit, He rules everything that is spiritual. And He tells us to focus on that which is spiritual and not what's temporal because it will cease to exist.
Hmm.
Your body, your couch, your house, the ground we walk on. You know what I mean? You know. So our assignment is the opposite of our desire. And there are a few things that rule us. One of them is desire. The other one is fear. And the other one is need. You know what I mean? So we fear a government that is more powerful than us. We fear death because it's alien to us and we don't know what comes after it. You know what I mean? And we need certain things in order to live, in order to abide within a construct comfortably. You know what I mean? And we desire certain things for our own gratification.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so the drug dealers and the drug addicts in the game get ruled by desire. The people in the pimp game and the hoe game and all that, they're ruled by desire. You know what I'm saying? And every scripture everywhere, not just in the Bible, warns us against these different lusts, you know, after the flesh and after the gratification, you know, because it pulls us away from what we truly are. When we start believing that we're the body, well, that's when we subject ourselves to the laws of the temporal and not the laws of the eternal. That's why you got niggas in jail. That's why you got people in the cemetery. That's why you have mental asylums and all that different stuff. They have subjected themselves to the physical and accepted it as their reality. When Christ, or what we know as Christ, when he came, he taught us that we're not part of this reality. You remember the words that, although you are in the world, be ye not of the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's because he knew. And he came to give you an example and show you that, you know, this is an experience. You've been lended this, you know. And if you only use it to your benefit, then all of your benefit remains here. You know, that's Matthew chapter 6, verse 5 through 15. You know, he explained that and then explained how to pray and everything, the Lord's Prayer and all that. That's Matthew chapter 6, verse 5 through 15. He said, don't be like the Pharisees and Sadducees. For they do.
Yeah, their reward is here. Yeah,
Yes.
that's facts.
Yeah.
I feel like so often we try to just ask for things here the whole time, and that's where the reward ends up being. My reward is that.
Where are you getting this stuff from? I'm sorry. What the heck? This little girl. Only 2-year-old.
She an engineer.
But yeah, as you said, like the reward is just here, and like, and you also remember the Savior saying, "Lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven,
Mm-hmm.
where they cannot be rusted out or moth eaten." You know, these are eternal. The stuff we have here, although we have a liking for it, although we have an attachment to it, it shouldn't take precedence over our eternity. You know, and really, if we sum everything that Moses went through up to the burning bush and then after going into the promised land, that was the essential message to him and all of the Israelites. That no matter what you come from, what you've had, and what you can acquire, it is your eternal soul. It is your eternal destiny that matters the most.
Mm-hmm.
We're just breezing. It's like going and applying for a job. You know, you're just there, and however long you choose to be there, well, you know, that's how long you're going to be there. But the minute you say, I'm going to do something different, that's your choice over your life. You know what I mean? And God gave that to you. That's the true epitome of free will. It is only man that has changed free will with man's laws. Remember the Bible saying all things are lawful but not prudent?
Mm-hmm.
You know, well, I ain't going to be long-winded. I'm going to shut up. But like, look, they twisted the game and made us feel like this is what it is, and it ain't. It's greater. We're greater. God made us greater. You know, and I'm telling you, no matter what happens, no matter what falls your way, this house could burn down today. But if you keep on doing what you feel you were destined to do, and if you keep on pushing, you will acquire that which you wish to acquire. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and all his righteousness, then all of these things, not some of them, not a few of them, all of these things will be added unto you.
Mm.
It don't matter what happens. You already been blessed. You already been chosen. You already been destined. And she's already made a mess.
Destiny.
But you already been destined, which means that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. There's no way to like edit that and change it. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. None. They could drop an atomic bomb right now. You know. And if you keep on doing what you were chosen to do, a shell of protection will be around you.
Mm. That's deep. That's raw. And I feel like it's all stuff especially that last part, need to hear. Cause like I'm saying, you get so caught up in what you have. You know what I'm saying? You get so caught up in this life
going. Look, we mow grass all the time. It ain't dead. It keep on coming back.
Yeah.
And no child started off as an infant and tried to walk and decided just because they fell a few times that they just weren't gonna try no more. You know,
Mhm.
never get away from what God gave you spiritually, and He gave you determination. He gave you a spirit that didn't fear anything. You know, didn't fear anything. This little one would climb all the way up on top of the house and probably try to jump down and fly. You know, but it's because she knows no fear. You know, and Christ Himself said, "Be ye like unto one of these children."
Mhm.
Because unless you are like one of these children, you shall not enter the kingdom.
Yes, won't see the kingdom. Ain't
You
that
know,
something though?
and I just use the term Christ because it's general. You know, y'all came from Christian beliefs, but y'all know. You know, I want to say, you know, Yeshua, Yahweh. You know, whatever you want to do. Either way, however you translate it, the man came with a message that was significant to our psychological and spiritual struggles. You know, and he pointed out things that we needed to hear, but we needed to be able to understand on not just the pages, you know, the words on the pages, but the metaphorical and the metaphysical part of it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Like coming into reality.
Yeah.
That's facts.
You know, because you know, you got to say that he was a man himself. He never pressed. He said, "I don't do this by my own authority, but by the authority of the one who sent me." It's like he was a man. He stressed about what he had to do. That's the whole Garden of Gethsemane scene was about. Like,
He was struggling.
I know what's coming. Like, you can imagine like how hard his heart was beating
If you
in his
bleeding,
chest.
if you bleeding tears,
Come
I
on,
mean
man. He
bleeding.
sweated
No,
blood.
yes, sweat and blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, not tears.
Sweated blood.
That's
stress.
facts. That's crazy. But yeah, we gonna run this next one then. This she going crazy. She about ready to pack it up. She get around that rowdy time. I know how it be like.
Yeah, that's supposed to go to sleep.
Yeah, I know how it be like. Yeah, we gonna run this next joint. You feel me? Testimony. What's your time looking like, Dave? Okay, got you. Yeah, we straight.
I got a personal testimony. Life would be hard to be feeling lonely. We don't pretend to keep it hot. I got a personal testimony. 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 Changing my job just like General Motors, but still leaking, dripping that oil. We just repeated the patterns of people before us, but now we adopted and riot. Soil the planet, we toil our season, the earth, we break every curse, and it gave us some birth, every work, and we I give them no work. Last year was bad, but now always be worse. Trying to get through all the hurt and abandonment. I felt the pressure was feeling so straight that I breathed out the hands of my people and they gave me rest, but I still feel that's something I stand. And then into love. When I'm cold hearted, they just wanna hug. Talking to you, I feel like that it comes. Hoping to hear you with silence is deafening and I get numb. Yeah. I got a personal testimony. I got a personal testimony. Life would be hard to be feeling lonely. We don't pretend to keep it hot. I got a personal testimony. I got a personal testimony. I got a personal testimony. I got a personal how that I'm working through, but I'm still proud of the person that I have become. Trying to repair my family relationships is complicated, ain't doing enough or doing too much. That's how I always feel. I can never quite chill when I'm in my crib. I've been grinding so hard, so I make provision. Not just for my seeds, but my parents are better than damage. I'm destined for greatness, but I'm on the way. I ran low on my patience. Talked to my auntie, she said that the course of divorce it was fun, but you know that like showing you the passport, you gotta go traveling and see all the world. It's plenty distractions, but you'll find a girl with flashing and smile like yo. I was blessed if I come with her, let me feel it encouraged.
Yeah, testimony.
I like it.
Test. So that's your favorite so far?
Yeah.
Okay, favorite.
Delivery.
Favorite. Got you. Why is it your favorite?
Bear with me.
You good? I said we love the kids.
Stop the chalk.
Leave it alone.
So, like, I don't know how much of the first part I missed, but just coming into it, that's what I was talking about as far as like slowing down and stuff. I can actually understand what you're saying, and I like at the end you kind of like took out. I don't know what that's called, but like you know you're da 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 da, and then like you take out some of the instruments, and
Yeah.
it becomes like more acoustic.
Yeah.
I love that part.
Yeah.
That was
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
So.
It's always good to have a testimony, man.
Yeah.
You never know who it can
Yeah, less is more is definitely my thoughts going for on that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
and it's universal. So yeah, the delivery on that was, flawless. The energy in it, the cadence, that was really nice. Like how you just held that cadence and just
Hmm.
kept punching, your points. Really good stuff. The beat hit nice with it. Like it all fit. Like that was really nice.
Yeah.
Okay, that was cohesive.
Yeah.
There you go. I appreciate that. You got some day?
No, that was really good. I mean, I really appreciate you being honest, right? Like it's just ensuring the testimony. You're kind of telling people your story and the struggles that you have in, faith and praying and different things in specific situations doesn't matter to, but staying in step, knowing that God is still with you. So I think it's an encouraging thing to hear, like not just wearing a mask, like just being real with your faith and how you're walking your struggles and everything. So I appreciate that. I think it's just raw and really relate with a lot of people that way. And I definitely agree with I like the pace as well. I think like I said, you have a deep message. So sometimes like it reminds me like a poetry jam, like how they do the poetry jam kind of thing. It's kind of like
Yeah.
it's just I can just like sit and just kind of like listen and I just want to do this kind of thing, like just hear the bars kind of thing. And I think like with cutting the music and slowing it down, I think you give that space, like especially when you're telling a testimony like that, like people be like, man, like you're being real, like you're being real about his faith, you're being real about God, like, and I didn't know that you can talk to God that way, kind of thing, like it's just like how the Psalms are. Some of the Psalms are raw.
Yeah,
It's
facts.
like it's not all roses. It's not what Christianity is, right? It's not what our faith is. Like we go through different steps. So I think that's kind of like what we talked about earlier. Like when you change up the beat and the tempo a little bit, it gives space for people to think differently. But yeah, I really like it.
That's why I love the songs too. Man, you got time for this last one, or you got a
Is
jet?
that the last one?
No, this ain't the last one, but this one I really want you to hear too. You got time for it? It was your time.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll explain that one after this one too.
Alright.
I'll kind of try to tie it all together. This one is Guide Me.
I'll be honest, I'm just a little disappointed right now. Something good that I thought was for me might not be for me. But I need you to guide me no matter what I feel like. Apart from you, I'm nothing. Now everything good for me, God. I know you would have me called to the hood if I misunderstood. Then it's all love, all done. I be trying to hold on to things I might call on. Yeah, I be stalking, ignoring problems. Help me to be honest about the direction that I'm walking. God, sometimes I be persistent in the same sin. Trapped in the dangers, chasing riches and fame here. They was trying to build a greater businesses. I'm bringing good news to the poor. Blind, lost, in the broken. Hopeless and homeless. That's who my folks eat. Focus on guiding their eyes to their open. Stay near. Sometimes it's hard to listen with so many voices drowning out the way I hear you in my head, answering my own prayers, playing like they got you blessing when I'm headed into battle. Get attacked and start to question what you never really said. Promises I made to myself cause I'm scared. Label them as daily affirmations, meditating on your presence, that's my only restoration. Get myself up out the picture, narcissistic generation when I'm in. Setting all these goals and I'm planning out my trips. God, I need you ordering my steps, but I get hit. All these ways of anxiety and depression, panicking, I feel the stress and lust. It's just ain't something of my question. Ain't no goodness in directions. I'm trying to put my phone down and I cope with curses, sketches. Excuses that we posted, giving hints and no comedy. Falling endlessly or aimlessly, believe me in the death. Don't deserve me, but I know you got my purpose in my message. I just need for you to guide me.
She's trying to become a rapper. So yeah, that's guide me. You feel me? So just to kind of tie it all the past two together. Yeah. So testimony, man. I really appreciated that one in particular because um, kind of like Lee you was saying. I just want to make sure I'm always telling my story, but also in a raw way and relatable. So even like moving into this, so from moving into a situation like what happened with the equipment being stolen, right, to moving here, coming like fresh off of a divorce, right, and separating, and so like that lost love, in that sense, is just like you know, what I'm saying abandonment, and like wrestling with that, and talking with my auntie, about just situations, and her giving me some encouragement. But then that last track, like Guide Me, was specifically just speaking more so on, man, not being ashamed of my story and where I'm at, where I'm coming from, where I'm going. Cause I had gotten into this situation where I was like talking to somebody, like trying to date them, you feel me? But one of the things that happened is yeah, that's how I felt too. But she pulled up, and I was just like giving her some chips or whatever. But then like she's like when are you planning on moving? When your lease up? You feel me? Like this is real sketchy. You know what I'm saying? This is real sketchy type area and all that. So I'm like, first off, I was like, man, this don't even feel bad to me. Like this area isn't bad. Like I enjoy this place. You know what I'm saying? Me and people like Red. Like I don't know. I feel called to be where I'm at, and plus, like even being here is like other places that my family from, I come from. It's like I don't ever want to be ashamed of that. You know what I'm saying? And I try and make a conscious effort to not minimize myself, because I feel like it's real easy to be be just kind of like hesitant when you coming from certain places, or when people look down on a certain flavor of life. So I was just like, honestly, I know I'm never going to be ashamed of where I'm at or where I'm going. But I need God to guide me, because even situations like that, you kind of like, man, I thought this might be something that's good for me, but if it's not God in it, if He's not calling me to it, like, then I can't even get down with it. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes that's hard. I feel like, especially because we all desire to feel comfortable and known and cared for. You feel me? That's all our base desire as people. Yeah, yeah. I ain't mad at it. That's all our base desire as people. So it's like you can have those desires, but man, just let God guide you in the midst of that. So even as I'm talking in the second verse, like it's times where you know what I'm saying, I'm running to comedy, or I'm running to lust through the phone, right? Or I'm running to like my own idea of God answering my prayers, right? Like just kind of affirming what I'm already thinking and feeling, but not actually saying, wait, nah, did God actually tell you to do that though? Like, or is it just something that you just want for yourself, right? Your own selfish ambition, and you just placing God and spirituality on it, you know what I'm saying? Like it's real easy for us to do that, especially even in like church type of cultures. Like, no, God doesn't bless all your desires. Sometimes it might be a no, right? And it's a good no, right? We know God, anytime He says no, it's for our good and our benefit, right? So that's the whole concept of guide me and testimony. I know Daggy got to head out, so I wanted to share this real quick. This is the reveal before y'all dip out. I got this new thing I'm trying out. You feel me? So, and I haven't seen nobody in the world do this. Well, if they have, I haven't seen it. So we'll play the last track after Dak Mouse, but I wanted Dak to get a chance to see this. I got these wall art pieces. You feel me? for the project. So it's just basically the cover art for Kinda, the original single cover. And for me, I really want the music to live with you. You know what I'm saying? Um, like I don't.
I apologize, bro.
Are you straight?
She's in there.
Everything over there, you won't break. You won't break anything over there. Just over there, she probably break something. So yeah, try to stay away from that table. But yeah. So I really want the music to live with you. So if you're thinking about ways like, man, I love what you're saying, I love what you're talking about. This is the best way to support this project in particular. And this though is actually pay what you want type model. So the same way I did at the other part with the phone cases, it's like, hey, if you got five, that's cool. If you got 15, 50, whatever you value this at, right? This this is what I'm moving forward with for this project. I'm kind of testing it out too to see people vibe with it. But yeah, get you a wall art, man. You want a wall art, man?
That's dope. That's dope. So what's the significance of
Yeah, so basically it's just like kind of like a castle, right? Just a castle of fire going up to God, kind of like trying to represent a heavenly type of place. You know what I'm saying? And Shekinah glory being up high, being up top is the concept. You feel me?
okay? Money.
All right, girl, stop. You're just trying to steal all the attention.
I go with kids, man.
For sure. For sure. It's important. Stop it. For sure. Yeah, it's yeah. I really love the last track.
Hey,
Hmm.
stop.
I love the testimony as well. But that's one of my favorite ones
Oh,
right there.
God me was your favorite?
Yeah, not to say that the others weren't,
No, no, yeah, I feel you, I feel you.
but I loved it because like it was slow paced, a little bit and stuff. It was really deep, but it has a lot of great meaning as well. That talks about the current generations that we're going through, the current struggles, like about the constant, excessive scrolling and
Yeah.
distractions, and he talked about. I think he talked about when he talked about good, like not everything good is good. So it's just I really appreciated how you hit that, and then just that idea of trusting God that He knows our good because He's good ultimately, and He is the measurement of what true goodness is. So it's just I appreciated how you related that as relinquishing control or the sense of control that we have.
Yeah, sense of control. That's
Yeah.
that's a perfect,
So
perfect phrase for it.
yeah, yeah, and I love because the harmony was different as well. I love that the choir kind of like grew on,
Uh huh.
it just it was a different vibe.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, 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 I loved it. I was vibing with it a lot. Yeah, but it's cool. It's great lyrics, great music. Yeah, for
It's
sure.
always nice when you put the choir in there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that
them
sample,
choirs. Yeah, the samples. You
the
feel
sample was immaculate.
me?
Pardon me, I'm sorry.
Oh, you straight.
She know I can't really straighten her out, so she's really going ham.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, the message, the sample, all of it, it hit hard. You know, it's something you can kind of rock to. You can get a little hype off of because like, who ain't like really like, you know what I'm saying? Uh, one been at the point where they did need guidance. Like a lot of us have dreams and aspirations. We have these goals and we have these ideas of what we want to do in life. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And like we could talk about that stuff endlessly, or you could go to the right place for the right guidance and start to develop a plan and execute it. You know what I mean? And so like that's kind of the volumes that that song speaks out. It's like, when I'm done messing with people that I can't rely upon, you know, then I gotta go to God, the ultimate source. Like that's where all the info is. That's my bridge between the gap. Uh, I can't make it without it. So like that kind of it staples it into place, and it staples it well because like it hits hard, it makes you pay attention, and that choir,
Yeah, yeah, that's why I feel easily love the choirs, man. So
You can't
it's
lose
one of
that.
my main reasons why I even started doing hip hop. I love that like for me the Kanye type era is what
Yeah,
made me love
definitely.
it.
That's
Fall
what
in
it
love with
made me
hip
think
hop.
about, to be
You feel
honest.
me? Yeah,
You know, like when he made that track, it was just so controversial to some of the long-standing hip hop artists that were out at that point in time. Because like he had called the Scarface and a couple of other people to try to feature them on the track.
hmm
They're like, I can't do nothing with this.
yeah.
Like, but like,
And that documentary.
yeah, come on now, him and his own business. So like, man,
No, he knew what he was
it
doing,
was
man.
phenomenal,
But
man.
he had that vision and yup,
Yeah.
sticking with it.
Yeah, yeah, and that's where it is. No matter who or what stands in the way, you keep pushing
hmm
because you know you have a force behind you that is greater than everything else that exists because he's the creator of everything that exists.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? Like,
You know what I'm talking
but
about?
you keep that in the forefront of your mind too, though. Like, you're not just moving by your own commission. You're not just acting upon your own power. You know, there is a force behind you that cannot be denied. There is therefore nothing that can separate you.
Yep. He finishing it. Yep. He understood the assignment.
you know, so keep that in the forefront of your mind. And like this right here, like this is a good deal. You taking the feedback and being open to it, taking the criticism and being open to it. This is the way. Like I would say the problem or the controversy that surrounds most hip hop artists, especially of the day, is the sense of pride, also superiority, that they won't listen to critical feedback. They won't take from the audience as well. You know what I mean? And like me, I told you I studied a number of religions, and like even right now, I'm speaking with the Mormons and all that stuff. But the one thing that keeps me meeting with them is that they will listen to your views. They will be open-minded to
Mm.
your beliefs. They will take the feedback, but not only take it, but apply it. You see what I'm saying? And so with this one, like it's saying that, like I take it and I apply it. I don't just listen to it. Be ye not only hearers.
Yeah.
You
Also
know,
doing.
yeah, put it into action. You know, it's one thing to put it on paper, put it out there in a track, but like you can hear the conviction in the words. You can tell that like you have executed it and that you have a willingness to continue. You know. So anyway, but yeah, this was a
No,
good.
that's all helpful and all beneficial, man. Really appreciate your presence here too, man. Like it's crazy because I feel like it's just weird to me because you've been I've been here almost a year,
Mm-hmm.
but I never had you over. You feel me? I feel like that's some reason that's wrong on me to a degree, but all in God's timing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, like for real, and just everybody's been able to tap in with me so far. It's Project Daggy. Thank you for pulling up. Um, Leah as well. You feel me? We gon' Oh dang.
That's you.
Yeah, that's me right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we will conclude this for tonight, man. Cause I know Daddy got to bounce y'all. I know she getting a little restless too. I know how it goes when you're younger. You feel me?
Yeah.
But I appreciate y'all time and y'all support. You feel me? There is definitely more on the way. Uh, June 30th, right? I'm gonna be pushing out another project called Black Men Get Butterflies. Uh, so a R&B type vibe just for the summertime.
Okay.
So look forward to that. And if you're interested, like I said, if you're interested in getting one, I'll say this to the people on the screen too. I got these available. You feel me? Like this proud to pay what you want, man. But I'm just trying to make art that lives with you. So I thought wall art is the next best thing since people don't usually listen to CDs as much anymore.
Look, she trying to get me
She want her own. You feel me? People don't listen to CDs as much anymore, so I think I'm looking to push this wall art. So this is the best way to support Shekinah if you're interested, because the streaming platforms they're built for. They're basically like real estate. They're not return on investment right now, but down the line, back end royalties they'll be good. But Right now, this is the best way to support Shekinah. Best way, you feel me? But love y'all so much. Thanks for tapping in. I love every. Thank you, Red, for pulling up. Thank you, like I said, thank you, Leah. Thank you, Daggy. Thank you, Zane.
Majesty.
Majesty. And then Hallie.
That is yeah, I forgot. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, you telling on yourself. Says she can see it. Don't she said, don't look at this playback. Don't look at that part. Allie, yeah. Thank you, Allie. You know she vouched. You feel me? We love the kids, man. We definitely love the kids.
Yeah, even though they just assaulted me.
Uh huh. Yeah, but it's been a great listening party. We'll see you on the next one. Shout red for the sliders too. Sliders was fire.
Right on.
Sliders was fire. You know what I'm saying?
All right, little big head.
Yeah, man. Great, man. No, I'm gonna give me most definitely.
Let's put your shoes on, little one.
Put all the feedback on the
She
Thursday,
just,
man. Real talk.
boy, she just decided to show out today, didn't she?
Right.
Oh man.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah, you know we gotta stay on their necks, man. Gotta stay on their necks.
Yeah, yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah, yeah. I'm be there Sunday.
Is your sock upside down, little one? I'm not even gonna worry
Yeah,
about it.
I'm praying for the family too, man. Yeah, definitely praying for the family.
On what? Oh yeah. Yeah. The email thing. Yeah. I subscribed to the email. Just in case I lost the website, lost the card. I was like, let me put this in the Yeah. Yep, thanks.
All right, then, man.
Good to meet you, man.
I need to get some sliders to go.
Oh yeah, yeah. You already know it's all love. You feel me?
I'm
So
Irish,
thanks
so
so
they
much
call me
for
Rick.
pulling through. You feel me? Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it for
All
sure.
right.
You feel me?
Say bye bye, Majesty. Say bye
I
bye.
said I be putting.
Look, we're trying to use the microphone.
I just look you up on Spotify and just hit play. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah. Just keep me in rotation. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot more that came
You got
from. A lot more that came from. Ain't that right, Majesty?
Power. Power.
Yeah, man. You know what time it is.
Power. Power.
All right, then, Jackie.
Power.
Be aluminum foil.
Power.
I got you.
Power. Hello. Power. 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 No. Tower! 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 Man! Man! Tower! 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 Tower!
You gonna pass the mic to me?
Tower! Tower! Tower!
No,
Tower!
she broke the last one. 'Cause I had a microphone to that speaker I got, but
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Tower!
They accidentally broke
Tower!
another one, but
Tower!
no time soon. Okay, no, don't hit no buttons. You went too far.
Tower!
Let me get on over.
Tower! Tower!
Man, appreciate you. Thanks for all your
Tower!
encouragement.
Tower!
Really necessary, man.
Tower!
Appreciate you.
Tower!
Okay, it's time to go.
Tower!
Here, give it back.
Tower! Tower!
You want a black one or a white one?
Tower!
White one, okay. There you go. Yeah, there you go.
Come on, let's go, Dookie.
You feel?
Time to go. Yeah.
I'm saying? All that stuff can be cleaned up. I love she got to be free. You feel
Yeah.
me?
She was just running laps around sometimes. Okay. Say bye bye. Say bye bye.
All right, then, Majesty. I'll see you around.
It's going, it's going.
No, I appreciate the support. Yeah, it's.
No problem, no problem. I understand the message, you know.
Mhm.
I get what you're trying to do, and I'm supporting it. You
No, I
know.
appreciate that. Yeah,
So
I said it's the best way to do it, right?
Oh,
Like I said, these
yeah.
other platforms they saying they give us pennies, you feel me? But we're trying to really build it and bring the culture to other people, and we want this to live with you. So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the wall art, that's why I had the things up in the wall. I'm gonna put
Yeah, I
this
like
next to one of
that.
them, you
I
feel me?
like that.
Because I
Yeah.
want to be the reminder, like God with you. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
God with you in the fire. So
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I'm with you on it, man. As long as you keep, your head on straight and
mhm.
keep going, in the direction that God wants you to go, and you're gonna prosper.
No facts.
You are. All right, man. Let me
Big
get out
facts.
of
All right then, Lynn. Great to see you again. You know what I'm saying? You still going out to Boston? Or
Well,
this weekend?
Maryland. No, I'm
Okay.
not gonna go.
You're not
That's why
going.
I'm here.
Okay,
Yeah, I
gotcha.
decided to stay.
Decided to stay. Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully things in the family straight then.
Yeah, yeah, everything's good. Yeah,
Okay.
mom's car's good. It's just a couple people got sick and needed help, but everything. I FaceTimed them last night. They FaceTimed me last night. They was all
Okay.
out to dinner.
Okay.
I
So
was like, man.
okay. So everything was alright.
And another thing is my sister graduated college, like a portion of her college. So that's another reason why I wanted to go home. But
Okay.
it's all good. It's all good.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's good
yeah,
then.
yeah. All right, man. I'll catch up with you.
Most
I might
definitely.
be in church someday. I might be
Oh
there.
yeah, yeah. No doubt. No doubt. Yeah. Appreciate you.
All right, man.
Holla back.
Uh-huh.
Ah, what a listening party. What a time. What a time. That was a vibe though. I really appreciated everybody's honest feedback. I feel like that's the thing too. I feel like most people they don't know if they can be honest with you. And I always want to be that person that's like, nah, just tell me. Tell me how you really feel. Tell me what you really think. And it's okay, right? Because I know some people, they really do get in their feelings. I mean, because that's why I say I can't lie. I might get in my feelings too, but it's not going to prevent me from taking in what you're saying and believing it in good conscience, good faith, that you're really trying to see the best for me and the best for my art. So, I'm tired. All in all, successful listening party. Great night, 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. And I'm believing God for greater. You know what I mean? That's crazy that they bought they bought some wall art too. If you if you didn't see it, yeah, this is just the cover art for Shekinah on the wall art, so you can put up on your wall in your home. I want to move forward with this as my sales strategy. This is the best way to support the artistry. Of course, you can stream, do whatever, but this is the most unique and intentional way to which you can bless the work that we're doing and push the art forward. Value the art. If you value the artists and the stories that I've told and I'm telling, value the art. Get you one of these. Pay what you want for it, but value it how you can. Thank you so much, y'all, time. And we will see you June 30th for Black Men Get Butterflies.